Hey, what's up people, GalacticJerry here, bringing you another Pokemon ORAS Wi-Fi battle. I know it's been a really long time since my last one, but you know, here we are again against a passerby opponent, and he goes by the name of Genaro, and he's bringing a Venusaur, a Sableye, a Milotic, a Hippowdon, a Scizor, and a Thundurus. And meanwhile, over on my team, I decided to bring a Starmie, a Scyther, an Arcanine, a Serperior, and Ampharos, and a Dusclops. And yes, the Scyther, the Serperior, and the Ampharos are the same ones that I gave away in my GTS giveaways. So you know, I decided to try them out in battle since I don't really play as much as I used to. But here we are. Let's go ahead and get this rolling and see how it goes. Well, I already know how it goes, but you don't. Haha. So yeah, my opponent leads off with the Thundurus, and I lead off with the Starmie, my Star-Lord Starmie. And it was a really bad idea because, but I decided to stay in battle and over-predict. And my opponent goes with the Bolt Switch, and it's almost able to take me down, but I managed to survive. Meanwhile, I decided to go for Scald, you know, just to try to burn any of his Pokemons. You know, if any of his Pokemons get burned, you know, it's a good thing. So my opponent decides to bring the Milotic, and I'm able to get burned right there. I'm able to recover a little with the leftovers. So you know, I decided to stay in battle because I know my Starmie is most likely going to be faster, unless this Milotic for some reason had a Choice Scarf, which as you can see right there, she doesn't. She has leftovers. So I go with the recover, just to, you know, recover, of course. And to see what my opponent was going to do, and she goes for a Scald with Milotic, and she's not able to burn me, so that's a good thing. So I decided to stay in battle because I really want to, you know, inflict some status condition on this Milotic. So you know, my best option right here would be to keep using Scald until Milotic gets burned. And I don't really care if Milotic has Mobile Skill. I just want to burn this thing or something. And my opponent, I guess, is trying to do the same thing and go for a Scald as well. And it's not able to burn me, but it is able to land a critical hit. But still doesn't really do much because it's not very effective. And I recover a little more with the leftovers. And I think at this turn I decided to go for a recover because of that stupid critical hit that she managed to land. So yeah, I do go for recover. You know, either way, if Milotic manages to burn my Starmie, you know, my Starmie has the natural cure ability, so all I have to do is switch out and the burn will get healed. And here it is, the burn. Just a thing that I wanted to get, but you know, my opponent of course gets it instead of me. So you know, I think, you know, since I'm not able to burn this Milotic, I just have to switch out after this turn. I think. Let's wait for it. So yeah, okay, yeah. So let's go ahead and switch out so I can, you know, heal my burn status. And I decided to bring my Dusclops. You know, okay, I know Dusclops has Will-O-Wisp, so I know for sure. If I was going to be able to land it, I was going to be able to burn it. But I guess my opponent predicted me to switch out after the burn and decided to bring back the Thundurus. And Thundurus goes for a Psychic, and it's not able to do much. And meanwhile, I just went with the Will-O-Wisp, and it's like I said, any of his Pokemon will be affected by a burn condition. So I decided to stay in battle because I know my Dusclops could take a hit pretty well. And here comes the Milotic again. You know, okay, you know, go ahead and bring the Milotic. I just gonna keep using Will-O-Wisp. I was expecting he was gonna switch out. So yeah, here it is. Milotic is finally burned, and I decide to stay in battle. So that way I can start using some Nightshades or something. But here comes a Scald, and of course it manages to burn my Dusclops, unfortunately. But for some reason I decided to go for Pain Split. I'm pretty sure I was going to use Nightshade, but I guess not. But either way, it ended up working for me, except for the stupid burn. So meanwhile, of course I'm going to stay in battle because I know Dusclops can take a hit. But my opponent switches out into who this time? Hippowdon. Okay, you know, if you want to switch out to Hippowdon, you go ahead and do that. And I decided to use Curse because I knew I was going to be able to take a hit, and then after that I was going to use Pain Split to recover some HP again. So yeah, here comes the Curse. I'm hit with the Sandstorm. And at this point, I know Hippowdons usually have Stealth Rocks, So okay, if you don't go use Stealth Rocks, I'm gonna go ahead and use Pain Split. So yeah, here comes the Stealth Rock. And okay, that's good for me. I don't really care too much about entry hazards most of the times. And then again, I do have my Starmie with the Rapid Spin, so I'll be able to clear those rocks out if I need to. But you know, I'm buffed with the Sandstorm, and I'm going to get some residual damage from the burn as well, which sucks. But you know, at least I was able to use Curse, and this is Hippowdon. It's almost done for, thanks to the Pain Split and of course the Curse damage. So I guess my opponent switches out for some reason and back into the Milotic. And what did I go for? I'm going for a Nightshade. You know, let's go ahead and try to get rid of this Milotic. And I know Milotics usually have recover, so but you know I wasn't too sure about this one. So you know I'm gonna stay in battle and go for a Pain Split. I know Milotic has more HP than me, and at least I'll be able to recover some HP to hopefully take another hit. So yeah, the burn damage brings me down to 33 HP. The Scald, I knew I was gonna be able to survive it, barely, but I was able to survive it. I go for Pain Split, so that way, you know, the burn and the Sandstorm will be able to take down the Milotic. I knew I was going to go down as well, but you know, an eye for an eye, I suppose you can say that. So yeah, the burn is going to take me down. We're just gonna wait for this Milotic to recover a little with the leftovers. So yeah, yes, there goes the Milotic down to the burn. And of course my Dusclops, like I said, is going to go down as well. It's no big deal though. Well, it's a big deal because I love my Dusclops. It's able to take hits left and right most of the times. So here comes the Thundurus, which at this point I figured was Choice Scarfed. And here comes my Ampharos. You know, I know Ampharos, Mega Ampharos actually has the Mold Breaker ability, which negates the Volt Absorb ability, which this Thundurus most likely has. So you know, I'm gonna take advantage and go ahead and Mega Evolve and go for a Bolt Switch. You know, get a free switch in. Luckily for me, my opponent decided to switch out into the Scizor, and the Scizor is going to take a lot of damage from the Bolt Switch. And you know, of course I'm going to switch out into my Arcanine, because the Arcanine owns Scizor any day of the week, no matter what you think. So yeah, go ahead and use Bolt Switch, and it's able to do more than half. And here comes the Arcanine. And of course I take some Stealth Rock damage. I completely forgot about that. But I'm able to get the Intimidate off. You know, I'm just gonna go ahead and go for a Flare Blitz. I think that's what I decided to use. Hopefully that's what I decided to use. Okay, so I expected my opponent to switch out, unless you know he wants to sacrifice his Scizor. But here comes the Hippowdon. I go for a Flare Blitz. I do go for Flare Blitz, but you know, it was smart by my opponent to switch out to Hippowdon, you know, bring the Sandstorm again. Yeah. You know, the Sandstorm was really annoying the last time it was here. But I take some damage from the Rocky Helmet, and I'm going to take some damage from the Flare Blitz, Recoil, and of course the Sandstorm. But luckily my Arcanine does have the Morning Star move, so I'll be able to recover some HP. Not as much because of the Sandstorm, but I'll live with what I can take. Oh, sorry about that. So here comes the Thundurus again. Just go ahead and stay in battle, and I should be able to take a move, barely. You know, I didn't invest any special defense on my Arcanine, but I did invest a lot of HP, you know, maximum HP on my Arcanine. So you know, I knew I was going to be able to take some damage and still survive. But I go for Morning Star, and as you can see right there, I didn't recover as much because of the stupid Sandstorm. But I know whatever move Scizor goes for, it won't be able to take me down, because I know I'm faster, most likely. So yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of this Scizor. So I go for a Flare Blitz. I take some more damage from Recoil, and the Sandstorm I think is gonna take me down. No, it's not. So I'm able to stay in battle just a little longer, and you know, sacrifice this Arcanine. So Thundurus, which at this point I figured was Choice Scarf. Either way, Thundurus does have a higher base speed stat than Arcanine, and I didn't really invest any speed on my Arcanine, so I don't really expect it to outspeed anyone. So he goes for a Bolt Switch, you know, that's good. So that way I can see what Pokemon he's going to bring out before I bring out my own Pokemon. And my opponent decides to bring out the Venusaur, which at this point I probably figured was going to be a Mega Venusaur. You know, as much as I love Mega Venusaur, you know, it's probably my favorite Mega Evolution Pokemon, I hate having to, you know, battle against it. So here comes my Arcanine. You know, let's go ahead, my Starmie, I mean, let's go ahead and start using some Skulls just to try to burn this thing. You know, a burn Venusaur is usually a good thing. So yeah, no, I decided to go into Starmie for Rapid Spin. I thought I was going to use Scald, so you know, go ahead and get rid of those rocks. So that way, if I decide to bring out my Scyther, it won't take a lot of damage, you know, because Scyther is Bug and Flying type. You know, it doesn't respond well to Stealth Rocks. So at least I was able to clear those rocks out. And meanwhile, I go into my Ampharos, and because I know Mold Breaker is going to break the Thick Fat ability, but it shouldn't really matter because my Ampharos doesn't have a Fire type move or a Ice type move. So I go for a Dragon Pulse. My opponent goes for a Giga Drain, and it's not able to do much, but my Dragon Pulse is not able to do more than half, so I was kind of disappointed right there. And the Venusaur has Sludge for some reason. Most of the time, Mega Venusaurs, or you know, Venusaurs in general have Sludge Bomb. And meanwhile, my opponent decides to start using Synthesis, which I know is going to be able to recover half. And since my Dragon Pulse is not doing more than half, or kind of close to half, it's not going to be able to take it down. But I am able to land a critical hit, luckily for me. So that's the end of the Venusaur. I really didn't want to play this, you know, Synthesis game right there. And my opponent decides to bring out the Thundurus, which has Hidden Power, Ice type, most likely, and it's able to almost take me down. But you know, I'll go ahead and use Bolt Switch, which I know the Bolt Absorb ability is negated, like I said earlier, and I'm able to take down the Thundurus. And I go into my Scyther. At this point, I completely forgot which was his 6th Pokemon, which, as you can see right there, it's a Sableye. And you know, okay, Sableye is most likely going to go for a Will-O-Wisp. So let's go ahead and go into my Serperior, because Serperior is not a physical attacker, so it won't really be affected too much. So yeah, here comes the Will-O-Wisp, and just in case I do take a lot of damage, I do have Synthesis, so I'll be able to recover some HP. But anyways, my opponent goes for Taunt for some reason. I was like, okay, I wasn't really planning on doing Synthesis or anything like that. I go for a Leaf Storm just to get the special attack boost, and say I'm able to get a critical hit, and of course I'll be able to increase my special attack by 2 stages. So at this point, you know, I didn't want to risk going for another Leaf Storm, because Leaf Storm doesn't have a 100% accuracy, and knowing my luck, it'll most likely miss. So my opponent goes for a recover, you know, thanks to the Praxis ability, is able to go first. I go for Dragon Pulse, hoping that it was going to take it down, but no, that was stupid of me, and I take some damage. I lose some HP thanks to the stupid Life Orb that I decided to bring. But you know, okay, since Dragon Pulse is not doing the trick, and my opponent is most likely going to go for a recover again, I'm going to go ahead and use Leaf Storm. Hopefully it doesn't miss, which it didn't miss. And that's going to be the end of Sableye. So yeah, I guess the only Pokemon I was really worried about was the Venusaur. I was afraid I was going to be carrying Sleep Powder or something like that. Even Leech Seed can get really annoying. But you know, that was a battle right there. You know, my Scyther made an appearance, but it didn't really get to battle. But no big deal, you know, the less Pokemon you had to use, the better. But yeah, that was a battle right there. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure to hit the like button. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you know, it'd be really cool if you did. Your support really does mean everything. It definitely gives me a reason to keep uploading videos. But for the meantime, thanks for watching, and I guess I'll catch you next time. Hopefully I'll be able to upload more Wi-Fi battles in the future. But you know, for that I gotta actually play the game. But anyways, just catch you later.